The story of The Witcher is awesome. Magic spells, monster hunting, the rise and fall of kingdoms. You almost wish it really happened. Wait, this is the flag of Redania, one of the main kingdoms in The Witcher. And this is the Polish flag and Polish coat of arms. How much of The Witcher's story is rooted in Polish history and legend? Let's learn about that. The story of The Witcher is a remarkable tale, told through the eyes of the adventure-seeking monster hunter named Geralt of Rivia, who, despite residing in a crumbling yet beautiful forgotten castle in the mountains, constantly finds himself amidst warfare between surrounding kingdoms. Yet the world he lives in is a vast country, full of snow-capped mountains, treacherous wilderness, and many, many monsters. This realm is known as the Northern Kingdoms, and within this setting lies a tale of medieval Poland woven by Polish writer Andrzej Sapkowski and developer CD Projekt Red that brings an entirely new appreciation for the series. And it begins with the Slavic tribes of the Middle Ages. Let's start with the monsters. It's here where we start to see the tremendous influence that Slavic folklore had on the Witcher series. Even right down to the word Witcher, which is the English translation of the Slavic word Wiedźmak. A Witcher is one who protects humanity and forces witches to stop doing evil, but they are even thought to be connected to the devil, spoiling a harvest and sending illness. Also from Slavic folklore is the Lesie, or Lesnijad. According to Slavic legend, these are male woodland creatures who care for the wilderness and can shapeshift into animals. However, the Witcher disputes the nature of the Lesie and portrays it as a powerful and dangerous enemy. You may also recall the crones, powerful witches who live in the swamps of Velen, poisoning the land and demanding sacrifice from the local peasants in return for prosperity. These frightening figures are based on the Baba Yaga, one of the most influential of Slavic legends, described as one or a trio of sisters who appear as deformed or ferocious-looking women. The Baba Yaga dwell in huts deep in the forest. The Western Slavic tribes carry deep heritage with the Polish people, but as Poland was officially formed, its pagan identity began to die. Initially a pagan, Mieszko I was the first ruler of the Polans. He married a daughter of the Duke of Bohemia and converted to Christianity in its Western Latin rite. This is considered to be the founding event of the Polish state, and the Polish coat of arms, adopted in 1295, bears a white crown with a golden beak and talons against a red background. This historic event has clear reference in the Kingdom of Redania in The Witcher. Founded by Radovid I, the colors of Redania are white and red, and a coat of arms from time immemorial has been the silver eagle in a red field. It was Radovid's line who would eventually obsess over removing non-humans and mages from his kingdom, purging what was considered cultural impurities. But we can find more parallels still when we look at the large port city of Novigrad in The Witcher. While not officially a part of Redania, the city is nestled within the kingdom's borders, while the king's banner flies throughout the town. Portrayed as the largest and richest city in the continent, the developers reveal their chief influences. The free city's architecture is inspired by the trade settlements of Europe. While creating Novigrad's look, we were constantly looking for opportunities to convey the atmosphere of a colorful, bustling port city. The character of this location and its surroundings was meant to be diametrically opposed to the doom and gloom and ramshackle wooden buildings of Velen. This massive city has striking resemblance with the port city of Gdańsk on the northern border of Poland. Established in the 10th century, Gdańsk has had a complex political history, including periods of Polish rule, German rule, and extensive self-rule, just as Novigrad became a free city from Redania. The architecture, historical significance, and vibrancy of this beautiful medieval city encapsulates the look of the fictional metropolis. But there's one final piece that brings it all together. Throughout the Witcher saga, the sovereignty of the Northern Kingdoms is under constant threat from the Nilfgaardian Empire to the south. It is described as the most powerful empire in the history of the known world. It boasts a thriving economy and a strong, well-trained army with talented commanders, and it has expanded mostly through the conquest of foreign countries, which were then turned into provinces of the empire. In The Witcher 3, the Nilfgaardians have all but conquered the northern realms. You see firsthand the countryside ravaged from battle, the families displaced, and the front lines of both armies as the Empire prowls on Redania's doorstep. Now, how does this relate to Poland's history? Looking at the map of the northern kingdoms, with the Nilfgaardian Empire invading from the south, we only need to look at it another way for it to start to click. And looking at it now, the shoreline of Redania, the location of Novigrad matching up with Gdańsk, and even the Skellige Islands, which embody Scandinavian culture, line up. So where does that leave Nilfgaard? The Holy Roman Empire, which at the time of the Middle Ages is situated at the heart of modern Germany, buttressed against the Polish kingdom, its imperial banner black and gold with a twin-headed eagle, while the Nilfgaardian imperial banner is a golden sun against a black background. And just as we see the Nilfgaardian Empire overtake Redania, if you played the game right, during the height of the Holy Roman Empire, much of northern Poland, including Gdańsk, was captured. A subset of the empire known as the Teutonic Knights came into Poland to help fight off the Prussians to the east, eventually betraying Poland, claiming as much land as they could, resulting in mass migrations into Poland from the empire. And as the Knights began invading Poland and Lithuania, the last pagan state in Europe, many priests and missionaries came over from the empire, converting as much of the population as they could. It wasn't until the Battle of Grunwald in 1410 that Poland and Lithuania won a massive victory against the Knights and began reclaiming their land. But there's something underlying all this. The massive culture shift from pagan Slavic religion to Roman Catholicism changed Poland forever. Before Christianization, there's no evidence that the tribes were literate. All of their stories and legends had to be passed down orally. And as the sweeping reform from the empire came, something was lost. An examination of all this, the folklore and the monsters, the matching cities and landscape, the political and religious history, it seems like The Witcher is a story that tries to retell what was lost, like a long-forgotten mythology of a young, untamed world. Poland was a nation placed between two powerful cultures, and it suffered much bloodshed because of it. But to me, the retelling of these old myths, themes, histories in The Witcher is so beautifully done, and I love the effort that the books and games put into this. But these are only a few pieces to the puzzle. There are so many references in The Witcher that we haven't talked about yet. The Wild Hunt, the White Frost, and the ending of the world. It goes so much deeper, and I can't wait to talk about it. But until then, thanks for watching.